All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Legend of the Three Kingdoms. Yes, this is one of my custom D&D campaigns set in a weird pocket dimension made up of suffering that has really made me start questioning how effective my therapy sessions have actually been. Um, and yeah, the people below me probably have great conversations with their therapists as well. So, um, yeah. That being said, uh, trying to think. Announcements. Really, really quickly. For anyone that doesn't know, I have a game that I run every other Saturday called Realms of the Wild for Zelda Universe. One of the cast members, the amazing Kiri Callaghan, is a published author and is about to be one again. Her second novel has gone into pre-orders. It's been in pre-order since the 1st of September. It actually goes officially on sale on the 15th. But it's called Changeling, and most definitely you need to pick up this book. Um, I I'm gonna actually see if I can find the link to it, because Kiri's been spamming it. The big thing about um, changing is we're actually attempting to get Kiri on a bestseller list, and the way that works is all of your pre-order sales count towards your first week of sales of the book actually being released, and bestseller lists are based on your first week of sales. So we're trying to get as many people as possible to either pre-order the book or actually go out and buy the book when it comes out. And where are you, Link? Is it here? Normally I'm much better at this than I changed the pre-order. There we go. I found the link. Thank you, Kikikiri. So I'm going to put it in my chat for anyone that is watching, but please go go pick up the book. For those of you actually playing with me, I will leave a link in our Roll20 chat. So if you guys want to, you can check it out. But Kiri is a phenomenal author, and we really want to be able to call her a best-selling author, because she should be. She's amazing. Changeling is actually a sequel to a book called Alice, the Terramirum Chronicles. You can't see it because I haven't been smart enough to move the book down a shelf, but it is on my bookshelf. Those of you that are in my players can actually see it because the camera's not cropped as hard. But yes, that is her first book is right there. So yeah, it's super cool, and Kiri's lovely, and so yes, please go buy her book. It's awesome. You will enjoy it. Pick up Alice while you're at it. That's her first book, is Alice the Terramirum Chronicles, spelled Alys, and it's kind of a rethinking of Alice in Wonderland. And it's cool, and she's awesome, and yeah. So anyway, now that I'm done bragging about how awesome my friends are, anyone else have any big announcements? I don't think so. No? Cool. All right. I think it's time for us to return to. That's what I have this window open for. Return to the Legend of the Three Kingdoms. The party has discovered something interesting. After sitting down for a meal with Liliane's friend, they started to realize something was strange. When Henri eventually came in, they were effectively locked in the dining room. And as they were examining it, two of the members of the party discovered something was very, very wrong. They started having issues leaving the table. They started having issues existing outside of the meal. And that's when the walls began to bleed, and the doors began attempting to eat the party. They were able to fight off this house, mansion-sized monster, and eventually the wall facing the front of the manor opened up like a giant toothy maw and spat all of them out on the ground. With that, the house itself lifted itself out, grew legs, and decided to wander off, terrorizing the countryside on its own. And that is where we return. So, currently you are all prone in what used to be the front yard of this relatively nice mansion. Now there is a large hole in the ground and strange footprints leading away.
I want to look around to see if I see our vampire.
As you look around, you do see a body, unmoving, that is wearing your old robes.
I'm gonna run over to that, get up and go over there.
Okay.
I'll drop my investiture just so I'm not always emanating water.
Okay. As you kind of flip him over, his first reaction is you see this shimmering field of magic appear in front of him, and you recognize a shield spell when you see it. He apparently was not expecting you, but as soon as he recognizes you, the shield spell drops. Oh, that was intense. What in the hells did you do?
Apparently, I can add pissing off a house to my resume of people and places I've pissed off.
You have a gift of that, I am sure.
I could name all the places I'm accepted before I can tell you all the places I'm not accepted at this point.
That doesn't surprise me. Are your friends here, or have you scared them off as well?
In time, but
We're
I'm
all
sure
here.
they're over there.
Vala and Commander,
Mm-hmm.
the compulsions you were feeling while you were inside the house, for a brief moment as you were launched forward, they became unbearable. You felt as if your stomachs were eating themselves and about to be ripped out of you. You felt this uncontrollable urge to return to the dining table that was now walking off as part of this mansion. But within a few seconds, it all just kind of faded. The pain still ached, like a wound that had yet to heal, but it was no longer an active pain. You feel that whatever compulsion you had has been broken now that the physical distance between yourself and the table has increased exponentially.
I'll get up and start helping everybody out.
Do I see the butler and or Lillian's friend anywhere?
You do not see the butler. Lillian's friend, you see, again, a body on the ground, that matches their description. It seems to be currently unmoving.
I'm assuming I see it as
Yep.
well.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go over to him.
To be perfectly honest, there's really not much to hide anything here. The one thing that could hide things was a house, and it's gone. So, yeah, as you go over, you do see the chest, or the back actually, rising and falling ever so slightly to indicate there is breath. But other than that, he seems to be moving currently.
Do I see any other servants?
You do not. You are the only people there. Though, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Let's see. That would be a 30, 20.
Okay. So as you're sitting there and you notice your friend, and you get your bare minimum, your friend is still alive. You haven't been able to check too much beyond that, but Alex is alive as far as you can tell. But you see some movement out of the corner of your eye, and as you look down, the mansion itself was kind of on a hill that overlooked a part of the city, and you can actually see people starting to come up to look to see exactly what's happened, because a rather large mansion has just grown legs and walked away. Apparently, it has intrigued some people. So you get the idea that while you are currently alone with your party and your two guests, you will not be alone for much longer. Probably maybe 10 minutes at the most before people get close enough.
I'll go up to Alex and I'll just be like, I kind of punched him. That was my fault, and I'll cure wounds him.
Okay. As you do, the magic takes effect, but you don't really feel any effect from it. Kind of like if you'd used cure wounds on a target that was fully healed.
Hmm.
And at this point, you see the unmoving form of your friend start to move. And he kind of braces himself up, and you see him kind of sit up. And then you watch his eyes go wide as he grabs his head and falls back down. He goes, oh, that's bad. That's very bad. Oh. Lillian? The hell did you do to me?
Well, I don't know if we want to sit here and chat. If
Yeah, we probably shouldn't take you very much longer.
Just help me remember, how much did I drink last night? And which vampire house did I insult?
Well, the big one is the baby.
And you see him still kind of blinking and holding his head, and he looks up. Lillian, where are we? This isn't.
well,
This isn't sanguineous.
No.
I think we should find a quieter place to talk, because I don't know if
Yeah.
that mob is angry or curious, and either way,
All right. Just
Hey,
stick with us.
Yeah.
I'll cast Pass Without Trace.
As you do, you see you start to feel little drops hitting your shoulder, and suddenly a pretty thick downpour starts. Argenta, having lived in the wilderness a fair amount throughout your life, you know that flash storms like this are possible, but this is a little bit unexpected. You guys haven't really been rained on too bad since you've been here, and this is intense. You start hearing peals of thunder, and you see cracks of lightning dancing across the sky.
I don't know anyone who knows this city well enough, so I guess we'll just start going back the way we came to get here into the city proper.
I think we will follow the house. Cause
Think-
who knows what that thing gonna do down there.
Alright. As long as we get a break before we fight, I'm tapped. You know, it's what happens when you burn your spells to travel through a house because doors are locked and you don't know how to use keys.
As you guys are doing this, you start noticing the hole that the house left is starting to fill with water very quickly. Much, much faster than you think it should, with the amount of rain that's coming down.
Just as a precaution, I'm going to cast water breathing on all of us, just in case,
Okay.
before we head off.
Can I quick tap the cavity? Make sure that no one in there.
Sure. Make me an investigation check.
If you see anyone, just let me know, and I'm probably the best swimmer.
That would be a 9.
Okay. So looking through, you even with a 9, you notice that the hole itself is relatively clean. Like there's not a lot of debris or anything in it. But something you do notice is the water in it is really thick. Really, really thick. Much thicker than water, but not quite mud.
Okay.
Does it rhyme with mud?
Yeah.
Theoretically possible, and it is now rising almost independent of the rain itself.
Yeah, let's follow those footsteps and get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. As you guys get ready to leave, the footsteps themselves to kind of lay the land out. You have the mansion itself, which was expansive and is now turning very quickly into a lake. And then there is a wall that extends all the way around it. The wall itself is made of stone and is roughly about 6 feet high. And then it has on top of the wall, there's about 1.5 foot high rods with kind of arrow points on the top of them to give it kind of that gothic feel. So that kind of circles around the entirety of the estate. There is a single wrought iron gate in the front that at this particular moment in time is locked. And the house was large enough that it just walked over the wall, going to the north is where it went. It went north of Minwell into the forest land in that general direction. So with that knowledge, how would you guys like to leave? You have the front gate. You can try climbing over one of the walls. Currently, you are about 100 feet north of the front gate, which goes to the south, which opens to the south,
I mean, sure, we can climb a wall. We've done worse.
And it's
Yeah.
6 feet. I mean,
Yeah. I'll
it's more for
just stand.
privacy than protection.
I'll stand at the base with my hands clasped and just give people boosts to get over the wall, and then I'll be one of the last ones.
Now, which wall are you going to climb over? because to get to any of the walls other than the one to the south, you have to find your way around this newly filling little lake.
Are there? I think we would go towards the one that we saw the direction of the house leaving. So
Okay. So
that
that's
direction.
north. Effectively, you have a lake between you and the northern wall.
Okay.
So
Good thing we
how
can all
would
breathe now.
Yeah. How would you like to get, or a filling lake? It is not quite full yet. How would you like to get to the northern wall?
How fast is it filling?
The water is rising about like a foot every 30 seconds or so. So within a minute or two here, it will probably be full if it stops at being full.
Okay. I mean, we can all breathe underwater, and if it's an issue for our friend, and I'll gesture towards Lord Merovingian, he can probably, I guess, ride on someone's back so he's not underwater.
This is Vala speaking. Just want to point that out. I really don't think we should touch that. Water.
You know what? I'll be the guinea
second
pig.
that.
Is it a? Am I close enough without going down to touch it?
Currently, no, just because it hasn't risen that high. But if you want to wait for about 30 seconds, it will be high enough for you to do that.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't. If you guys are so afraid of water, it's kind of my wheelhouse. But sure.
It
Well,
is
we
the
didn't all spend
anti-fire.
months in the plane of water either.
Yeah, I preferred it there.
Henri's sass coming in and out.
No joke.
Vala takes off walking around the lake.
Mm-hmm.
I will take the western edge.
Okay. So going
We'll
around
follow.
it, as you go, you start seeing the water is getting closer and closer to kind of ground level. And as you continue to watch, you notice the water, despite the fact that the depth is changing, so theoretically fluid dynamics, it should either speed up or slow the water if it was going in at a regular speed. Nothing changes how quickly the water level is rising. Volume, nothing. It from the center point all the way out to the very edge, it is a steady vertical rate of it rising.
We would follow because we don't let her go off on her own.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
not allowed to
pretty
go
much.
on her own anymore. All right.
She's
I'm like
grounded.
tugging on the leash they've put on me.
You've got the little harness thing.
Oh yeah, it's a
Let
full
me-
body.
Yeah, I took an invocation that's called Arcane Leash.
Next will be Arcane Binky. As you guys get around the side to where you can start crossing, the liquid finally comes to the top and stops perfectly level with the ground, except for the very center, of which it keeps rising. And a shape begins to form, kind of like almost 3D printing. If you've ever seen how it kind of builds from the bottom of it upwards.
I'll turn to Henri and go, is that normal for water?
Well, if it was water, you forget we're in his play place.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not forgetting. I'm just saying that's not water.
You probably shouldn't stick around too long.
Well, we're moving and talking. Are you not aware of that fact?
Well,
And
I mean,
we're
faster.
walking, we're walking, we're
And we're
walking.
walking. As you guys get to the wall itself, you see the thing has finally finished itself. It is a 30-foot wide, or 30-foot tall, 20-foot wide set of double doors. that have now solidified into a blood red wood. And with a huge peal of thunder, they open. Smoke pours out from them, and you see two figures step through.
Let's go faster. Must go faster.
One of the figures is wearing a blood red cape that billows around, doesn't seem to be affected by the rain at all. Underneath is this midnight black armor. It seems very form-fitting, and on his hip there is a very elaborate-looking sword with a cup guard, similar to what you might see a very ornate rapier cup guard to it. But the blade itself is far too wide to be a rapier, much closer to maybe a saber. All of you recognize the visage of the Dark Lord. And next to him you see a woman. You can't see her feet, but the robes that she wears are this kind of nondescript gray that seems to kind of float. And as you look at the base of the robes, you can see the wind picks up a little bit, and there's nothing touching the ground underneath the robes. She seems to be floating next to him. Most of you would recognize the servant of the Dark Lord you met all those years ago that seemed to be the head of the sisters there. That I'm drawing a blank on the name right now.
I was going to ask if she looks like Dame Judi Dench.
No, she's very young. The last time you saw her, she was very innocent looking. But she protected her lord without question and seemed to vanish at the same time he did. Now, however, her gaze is much more stone, much more motionless. And she simply stands there, both of them looking at you with this disapproving gaze. The Dark Lord speaks loud enough that you think the entire world can hear him. You have disobeyed my rules. And he walks forward onto this liquid that seems to solidify underneath his feet. And he just kind of saunters towards you.
I'm sorry, I must have misplaced my pamphlet as to what the rules were. They weren't very clear. Is one of the rules not knowing what the rules are? I apologize.
You know what rules are, Vala. You have your own personal set, don't you? The ones you broke every day as you tortured and maimed countless innocents to get their secrets to give to my governor.
Yeah, I'll pay for that. Right
Oh.
after I'm done taking it out of you.
You have no idea how true that statement is. But see, the rule I'm talking about is you have taken one of my things. And he points towards a Merovingian. That does not happen. It is mine. I earned it. I made it. You do not get to choose what happens to it. I do.
No.
You seem rather arrogant.
I'm sorry. Haven't we met before? How many times did you kill me in that dungeon?
And he looks over to the young woman next to him. And she nods. And she looks in the sky. And you see 3 shapes start hurling down from the sky. Each one impacts about 40 foot from each other, landing amongst you. I would like everyone to make me dexterity saving throws.
Huzzah.
Oh boy.
One.
Sorry, gang.
I mean, if there's any way for a TPK, it's by a 9th level spell.
Right.
Ooh. Ooh. Is this the right character?
Is this my character?
Strange? When did
I
I
have a-
start rolling?
Really?
That doesn't
Come
make sense.
on.
I have a +8 to my dexterity saving throw.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah. Too bad my rolls stank.
It'll be just one moment as I actually open the program I used to keep track of all this.
Val is just too busy in her head trying to come up with another comeback. So she's not paying attention.
I mean, it tracks. Okay, we're going to start with Vala. What'd you get?
14.
That is a failure. Henri,
18.
failure. Argigenta,
21.
as a failure. Commander,
With a natural 19, a 24.
24. That is a failure.
Well, guys, this will be fun.
Well,
You see these 3 crystals. They look quite literally just like giant crystals have embedded themselves in the ground about 80 feet from each other. Sorry. And as they do, these waves of energy shoot from them. Everyone that failed their save takes 71 force damage.
I will take none of that because I am a block of ice. Fuck that noise.
Everyone but Henri takes 71 force damage as Henri chills out for a bit. So they all fall, and this wave of energy goes out. And as you all feel this just wave of energy rip through your bodies, you watch as Alex looks to be unconscious, along with Merovingian from just the sheer shock of it.
Did you have me do the same?
Yeah, everybody does a dex save. Sorry, did I forget to ask for yours?
Yeah.
Sorry. What'd you get?
Every year, 24.
24.
So I know that.
So yeah, that unfortunately fails as well.
And I'd be on down.
So Lillian falls unconscious. The rest of you, as you're kind of sitting there dealing, you suddenly feel heavier than you were before for some bizarre reason. What would you all like to do?
I would like to use a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
To use 2 of my healing lights
Okay. From your...
from my warlock patron.
Aha!
I would like to try.
That's really interesting. That is not a spell effect, correct? That you're not casting a spell. This is a feature, right?
It is a feature. It is healing light. I have a 76 healing pool.
We're
As
gonna
a bonus action, you can heal one creature within 60 feet.
This is nothing about casting a spell or anything involving magic, correct?
Let me just double check.
For right now, we're going to say it doesn't. This is an inborn ability of your self that is independent of the weave.
It is my
so-
healing light.
Go ahead and roll whatever you plan on doing.
7 points of healing.
To everyone? To specific person?
To Lilianne.
Leanne. Cool.
My block of ice only lasts for a turn, so am I still in my ice or am I out of it at this point?
At this point, it is still that turn.
Okay.
Vala has just taken her bonus action for that turn. So if there's an action you would like to take as well, we will just count this as your turn.
I can't do anything because I'm incapacitated technically.
Well, specifically Vala, do you have an action that you want to do? Since you've used your bonus action.
So I used the healing light, and then... Oh, screw it. I am going to try to use Sending
Okay.
to talk to the head of House Laval
Okay.
and ask them to bring me their coin.
Okay. As you attempt to cast the spell, nothing happens. The spell doesn't fail. Magic doesn't seem to exist. And you look around at these crystals and very quickly realize you're in a very, very large anti-magic field, which is why you feel heavier. All your magic items are now mundane. All magic in the area has ended. Magic simply doesn't exist in the area where these crystals are.
Not
So
this
you
again.
use the action, but because there is no magic, the spell is not cast. Magic simply doesn't exist.
I will let the others know, hey guys, he's turned off the arcane bullshit.
How are they still flying or what?
The Dark Lord is walking. The woman next to him seems to still be floating. And you watch as they cross the barrier of where you saw the energy dissipate, and she's still floating.
How far is he from us?
At this point, math is hard. About 60-ish feet away. Just because you guys were in a weird spot when the thing hit.
Okay.
And for the record, is this Ella?
Ella, that's her name. There we go. So yeah, Ella seems to still be floating. You also watch as she crosses the barrier. You watch as little bits of lightning dodge between her fingers as if she's rolling a coin. You recognize magic as she casts it. She's casting magic in an anti-magic zone.
Well, this is just cheating. I will say out loud.
Ella turns to you and goes, "No, this is my power, given by my lord for faithful service. And now I think you all should bow." And as she says that, you feel magic start to compel you. I need a wisdom saving throw.
Does this count as being charmed?
This does count as being charmed. You would actually recognize a mass suggestion as a spell being cast.
Okay. So I get... Oh, it's wisdom. But I get advantage from...
And if anyone has an immunity to being charmed, this is a charm effect.
Okay, I can still make this. I just had to double check what incapacitated did to me. Okay.
Yeah. Incapacitated physical checks, or technically just strength and dexterity, you'll fail. Everything else you still get to make.
It's 25 for me.
Okay, that's a failure. These are tough dudes.
22.
Vala,
22.
failure. Henri,
I rolled a 25. You said I failed.
okay. Oh, sorry. Argenta, there we go.
It doesn't matter. I can't roll high enough.
Okay. Lillian,
22 fail 5.
you actually rolled under. It's a range, yeah. And then Commander, you still there, Commander? You're muted. You're unmuted. You're. Can you tap out things? Can you Morse code it? Are you saying things in chat that I'm not watching?
His internet may have crashed. I'll send him a message.
Oh, and it was not L. It was Satin. That was the name.
Wait, Satin?
Or maybe no. Satin was the one that you guys saved one, and another one went with him. So Satin was the one you saved.
Yeah,
she
Satin
the
was the one that we saved. And Lisa, I had crossed out. So I'm assuming she was dead.
Yeah.
So that would leave L and Kira.
And
I
Kira
think
was
L was number 1.
Yeah, so it was L. Thank you.
Yep.
So it's L.
I took notes.
I'm so glad you did. I should, being the dungeon master, just brain doesn't quite work that way. You hear?
He said he failed.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Hi.
Sorry.
So
I
you
feel
all
wrong.
feel this mass compulsion to bow. The Dark Lord continues to walk amongst you. See, this is my world. I make the rules, and when you break them, you pay a price. And you watch as his hand shoots out and this tentacle of energy goes and wraps around. Helps when you have your dice out. Commander.
Yeah. Does a 26 hit your AC? And then some. Yeah.
Okay. You take 24 slashing damage as the tentacle wraps around you and pulls you to him, and he just kind of holds you in the air. And I need an intelligence saving throw.
Ooh.
Which I will say is lower than the saving throws you guys have been forced to make recently. So
It's not one of my good ones. Yeah. 12.
12. As you are there, the tentacle kind of pulses inside, sends this pulse throughout your body, and you are currently stunned until the grapple ends. He continues to walk around with Commander just held there. I believe with mass suggestion, I believe it ends either after 24 hours or after you take the course of action to the best of your abilities. So you have all bowed. So the mass suggestion has ended. As he's just kind of walking around with Commander held above him. See, I spent a lot of time creating the perfect world. Everyone here has their own function. There's no one plotting against each other, constantly trying to see, ooh, who can I embarrass today? Who can I banish from my world because I don't like them?
Question. If your world is so perfect and people are plotting against you, what the hell was I doing gathering intelligence for?
You were keeping them occupied. That's what they wanted to do.
But,
So
but
every
their job
day-
was to plot against you. Your world is a contradiction. It's not very perfect. Also, if we can fuck it up,
You make a valid point.
I usually
See,
do.
that's why you were in different places. I thought if I left you to your own devices, you would simply do your assigned task. The monster over there would kill, as he points over at Henri, would kill over and over again. The freedom fighter, he points over at Argenta, would go and fight the good fight over and over again. You all had your little things to do. You had a life that could be fulfilled, and yet you didn't do it. So, now I take things into my own hands. This is your one warning. If you mess with my plans again, this is what will happen to you. And you watch him twist as the tentacle writhes. And I have to get to the right character sheet here. Another attack roll with advantage because you are stunned. 25.
Yeah.
You take 55 points of piercing damage. Are you still conscious?
No.
When he takes that damage, you watch as the body drops and a spiritual version of it stays suspended. You watch as Elle comes over and she kind of waves her hand as the air starts to kind of crystallize and form around it and shrinks down the essence to this little crystal that she takes and she starts to leave. Now,
I would like to use
do
my
we
healing.
have an understanding?
So, just to be clear,
Mhm.
Commander is on the ground.
His
Is he-
body is currently on the ground.
Is it breathing?
No.
How far is L?
From where you guys are, they were both about 60-ish feet from you.
I guess I'll stand and dash into their face.
Okay.
I am gonna take out a dagger and throw it at the Dark Lord.
Okay.
And as
go
I
ahead.
do, I will say, "Nobody calls my friend a monster."
Okay. Make your attack roll.
I don't get to add anything to that, do I?
It's a dagger
Like an
throw,
unarmed-
which is it's a finesse weapon with a thrown property. So you would be able to add your dexterity or strength to it,
Okay.
like a normal attack would be.
But do I get to add my proficiency to it?
Are you proficient with daggers? I believe you are. One of your classes has dagger proficiency. It's a simple weapon. You
Yeah,
theoretically
I am.
should.
I'm proficient with simple weapons.
Yeah, then
But even
yes.
wizards are.
I think just about everyone can use it at a dagger. So
Yeah, I think so.
I
That's-
think because of how far away it is, it's going to be in the long range of it, so it would be a disadvantage. But that's the only
cool.
limitation.
So that is an even 20, a dirty 20 to hit.
Okay. As it goes, it impacts his armor and just barely deflects off. You do see the kind of ebony look to the armor is blemished slightly as a scratch appears in it. Doesn't even turn around as he continues walking.
I'm running
Argenta,
after him.
Did you have something you wanted to do other than running?
Yeah, so they're both Because I'm faster than 30 feet. I have 45 feet of movement, so I can get to them, right?
Let's say you can't get to Elle because she was just a little bit further, but let's say you can get to the Dark Lord
Okay. I'll.
with one movement, so you don't have to dash to do that.
Okay. Grit my teeth as I get to him.
Okay.
Raging.
All right.
One attack's going to be a grapple.
Okay. So that would be your strength athletics versus. He doesn't have anything fancy for that. Okay, cool. So yeah, go ahead and make your attempt.
33.
33. Well, I'm sitting here and I'm just looking like he's got a really high strength score. Rolling a 5 doesn't help. Yeah, as you come up, you grab him.
Just gonna pull him back and crack him with a headbutt.
Go for it. That'll effectively be an unarmed strike. So, strength based.
That's going to be a 24 to hit.
24 does hit. It's 1 plus your strength mod.
It'll be a total of 6 because I'm raging.
6. Yeah, definitely. So you, I'm assuming you headbutt him in the face?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you guys run forward, and he, Argenta grabs onto him and rips him around. Like he was just walking around. You grab on his shoulder, rip him around, grab him again by both of his shoulders, and just boom. And you slam into him. And as you do, the first thing you notice is the first thought to go through your mind is nobody wins with a headbutt. Because your head's ringing just a little bit, despite the fact that he's not wearing a helmet. His head is really hard. As you go back, you watch him kind of blink, and he checks his nose. He doesn't seem to be breathing. Kind of moves his face around, rubs where you hit him. I mean, you definitely hit him. And he just looks at you and goes, "Leave!" And as he does, this wave of energy goes from him. Before he does that, is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
That was action, bonus action. So if it's my turn, I'm done.
Yeah, that would be your turn. Okay. I need an intelligence saving throw from Buddy. We'll start on the other side. So, Liliane?
21.
21 unfortunately fails. Commander doesn't need to. Argenta?
18.
18. That fails. Henri?
I can't physically pass it if a 21 fails.
Okay. And then Vala?
Luckily, I wasted a low roll on this, and 8.
8. Okay. Everyone that fails takes 30 psychic damage and are stunned for a minute.
Is this within the first thing, or am I out of my ice?
Theoretically, you would still be in your ice because we haven't gone through a full round of turns.
You said 30 damage?
30 is psychic damage if that changes. This is anything.
No, I'm only vulnerable to fire right now.
Cool. So as you all are sitting there frozen from this blast, you watch as they walk through the doorway. It shuts, and the doors themselves don't disintegrate or anything, but they harden into, from the kind of like blood red wood it was, it hardens and turns into this very deep red stone.
So we are stunned for exactly 60 seconds?
You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns.
Okay.
So I'm stunned for this whole 60 seconds.
Yes.
And
Theoretically,
so am I.
yeah, everyone would be stunned for until you make your save. So if you want to make saves, it because of how far away they were from it, it takes them effectively 2 turns to get in there because they weren't that far away, and they both have decent movement.
So the reason why I'm asking this, you said Commander's not breathing.
Yes.
I have Revivify prepared.
Let's say when the doors close after 2 turns, the effect ends.
Okay.
So only 12 seconds have passed.
Okay, and presumably 18 since he died.
Presumably.
Maybe.
I think we could have effectively...
So
technically, no, only 12... No, yeah, 18.
yeah, because
it took 1 turn, and then the psychic thing was a legendary action that happened off of his turn, and then 2 turns to go.
As a side note, I'll go back, see Lillian's unconscious while Vala's doing that. You heal 8 HP as I cure wounds you, if I still can.
Currently, as long as those crystals are there, no magic works.
Okay. Then instead, you get a 13 medicine check.
Which is enough to stabilize.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to rush to Commander.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna shit, and just grab him and just start pulling and being like, Argenta, I can use some help, and I'm gonna try to pull him as far away as I can.
Okay.
Yeah, once I have Lillian stable, I'll grab his feet and lift him up for...
Why don't you both make me athletics checks? Argenta, I'll say with how fast this is happening, you are still enraged. Oh wait, no, because it took 2 turns. Never mind, you aren't still enraged.
Okay, the first one was better anyway. 26.
I'm helping with a 6. Oh wait, no, this is, I'm helping with a 5.
With a 5, okay. So you get to go, and I helped. Luckily, Argenta's pretty built. In your head, a little stopwatch has started, and you're counting every second. And as you sit there trying to pull this lifeless body to somewhere outside this anti-magic field, you realize you can't move it on your own. It's just too unwieldy. Argenta comes over and just starts dragging as fast as they can. And as you get closer and closer to where you think the edge is, 5 seconds pass. 10 seconds pass. You're pushing and pulling as hard as you can. 15 seconds pass. You finally get to a point where you feel your skin start to tingle slightly as magic starts existing again. 20 seconds has passed. At this point, you think you have about 10-ish seconds left.
Here. And I will immediately cast Revivify.
Okay. As you cast the spell, everything stops. The rain stops. The sound of everything around you stops. There we are. Looking for my sound effect for this. The world seems to stop. Everywhere you look is to the darkness, except for a single 10-foot in diameter circle of light, where you are sitting with Commander's body. You feel the magic start flowing into your fingertips, into your hands. You feel it enter into his body. You feel the pull as you attempt to try and bring the spirit back into his body. But as you sit there and feel the magic itself reaching out to coax it back, it finds nothing to grab onto. There is no spirit or soul to put back into this body currently. And without a soul to put back into it, the spell fails. As you sit there focusing on it, you're still in this place. Time seems to have stopped. Is there anything you'd like to do?
I will call out to Celeste
Okay.
and be like, please, it can't end like this. And I will dump my remaining healing light into the body.
Interesting. You won't break contact with the body.
Right.
You feel physically attached to it currently. And you can still feel the magic reaching to trying to get something. A minute passes, 30 minutes, an hour, 4 hours, 12 hours, a day. You can't really tell how much time has passed anymore, but it seems like an eternity. The spell's still going. You're still reaching, you're still grasping. You know you're that far away. You're not going to give up. Behind you, you feel a presence. You hear some footsteps, very light, as if barefoot on stone. You feel a hand on your shoulder. You feel a rush of power. You feel the hand that's reaching into Tartarus to try and bring him back. Go further. Keep trying to grasp. You feel another hand on your other shoulder. The power increases. Keep reaching further and further. More time passes. At this point, you're not quite sure if time has ever existed outside this place. Seems like you've always been here, always searching. Finally, you hear in your ear, it's not there. I can't bring back something that's not there. I'm sorry.
There has to be something. It can't end like this.
You have to get it back. He stole it. She's got it. Without that, there's nothing I can do. I'm so sorry.
Thank you for trying.
As the world starts to fade, as if a painting left out in the rain, you suddenly feel yourself being lifted up and turned. You look into a face you don't recognize, but eyes you do. Celeste holds you. I'll do what I can for his body. But without his spirit, this is it.
Then I will get his spirit back. Or fall trying.
He'll know. He'll know what I'm doing. He doesn't know where I am. He doesn't know I'm here yet. Now he will. I need you to find me before he does.
Where?
Or this will
You-
all be for naught.
You're here.
Yes, I am. Though
Where?
I don't know it. I don't know where I am.
Are you
I don't
alone?
know I'm here. I have yet to awaken. But I'm here. And I'll do my best to keep his body as long as I can. Find me. Help me. And with that, you are drenched. The rain continues to fall. It seems to have soaked everything it has gotten through your clothes. It feels as if it has gone through your skin to soak your bones. Everything on you feels heavier.
I look around. Is Commander still there?
Yes, looks asleep. The body doesn't show any wounds or anything on it. It simply seems bereft of life.
I'll look at the others and say, we need to get out of here. We need to get Commander's soul back.
Unless you feel like dragging him around, better find a place for him.
I will go to lift up Commander.
Okay.
And, you know,
What is your total strength score?
it is 10.
10. Okay. You're not going to be able to move very fast. But you think you might be able to carry the commander. It's not going to be pleasant for you. Commander was a bit of a big dude.
I am going to go through and take anything that's valuable or that's important to him so that it doesn't get stolen. If
Okay.
for some reason we get separated from his body, so I'm going to take his gun, his ammo.
Okay. As you start kind of rifling through things, you see his pack that he's been carrying there, and it kind of falls to the ground, and out of it pops a small notebook like the thing. And as it hits the ground, it opens to... well, I'll let Commander describe this.
Well, I mean, it's within the rain. It wouldn't. I don't know. It wouldn't. You just it would put up to a random page, and it would just be a bunch of sketches for the most part, like weapon ideas, anything like that. Unless you took time to look at it.
I wouldn't take time to look at it when it's pouring rain. I would quickly close it and put it where it can't get wet.
Okay. So you are able to pick up the valuable things. His bullet bag, his... you are having a hard time finding Fury currently, since when he doesn't have it out on him, he has it sequestered in a hidden pocket. So as far as you can tell, you don't see Fury on him. But you're able to find everything else.
Does anybody know that secret place he puts stupid toy? Never pay attention to him.
I don't know.
I'll pat his jacket down.
Okay. you do find an object is somewhere within his lining. If you want to try and actually find the pocket, it would be an investigation check. Otherwise, if you just want to cut it open, you can do that too. It will damage the jacket.
I rolled a 20, so 20.
Yeah, searching around a little bit, you do find a recessed pocket that you're able to open. You pull out Fury.
Well,
Is Lillian still unconscious? I think she was stabilized.
She was stabilized. She's still, as of the ritual, she was still in the anti-magic field.
I'll look over at Argenta and go, can you help me get Lillian out here so we can get her healed up as well?
Yeah, I can do that. I'll just take his holster off as well so I can put it on my own belt, and then I'll grab Lillian.
Okay.
Also, Vala is looking really rough. I have 6 hit points left.
get an ice block to save you.
So you guys are able to get Lillian back up. Lillian, after you are made conscious again, you watch as Vala goes over and picks up the body of Commander, which to your rather well-trained eyes, as far as the difference between life and death, is completely living.
When everybody's together, I will say, I saw an old friend. It's not hopeless yet, but I don't think now is the time to talk about it. We need to get someplace safer.
Yeah, do we still have Abbott and Baby Vision about that?
They are currently unconscious because of the damage, but they look to be a little alive.
Try and stabilize Vampire Lord and offer blood if that's how you bring a vampire back.
You would be aware vampires can regain health by drinking blood from a living creature. You would be aware, however, that the I can't think of the word now. The desire to feed gets stronger the more hurt they are, and so if you do give him yourself in order to heal himself, he may not stop very quickly. So you 100% can do that. I am going to need a Constitution save if you decide to do it, and then I need you to pick even or odd.
Because Henri's not thinking straight because he's just been given 2 headaches, one with ice and one with psychic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he'll try that, and I will do odd.
Okay, so go ahead and make your con save first.
22.
22. Your con save is fine. As you kind of reach down and you just guide his fangs into your wrist, which is the easiest place to get
Preferably
him to
the one
feed
without
correctly.
the giant bracelet, so we can actually, feed.
Yeah. You instantly feel the blood literally being drawn from your body, which is a strange feeling, to say the least. And the first thing you get is a lightning migraine. Like it's instantaneous, your head just starts to ache. And this splitting pain. But you kind of fight through it to keep yourself conscious. and you see him start to perk up, and then he grabs your arm in a death grip and forces the wrist further into his mouth and keeps draining. What's your hit point total at right now?
107.
107. Oh yeah, you took barely anything.
Yep.
He is damn that ice block thing. OP, please nerf. He's gonna take a pretty big chunk out of that, unfortunately. That's 17 plus 8 is 25. Plus 11 is 36. So he drains 36 hit points out of you before he realizes where he is and who he's draining, and stops for a second. Sorry, what happened?
Well, we're gonna need you more than ever now.
At this point, the rain starts to let up a little bit and eventually ends. Yes, that was unpleasant, to say the least. There is a cave system about 2 miles east of here. It's relatively well hidden. The bastard friend of yours, he used to take me there to do things. Anyway, only him and his household staff knew about it. So it should be relatively safe, seeing as they seem to have taken a trip.
Alright, well, I'd say lead the way once everyone's gathered.
Right.
Henri,
Yeah.
did you have any plans with those bullets?
No, I mean, I may have grown up in Velikovia, but I don't know the slightest thing about these things.
Can I see? Can I hold on to them?
Yeah, they're yours.
All right. How many bullets did you have, Commander?
That's a Jody question because he said that there's pretty much no end to it, almost, right?
Effectively, in the bag itself, you would have probably had, of normal shots, you would have probably had about 30 normal shots in there. However, I believe you were keeping track of your special bullets made from.
Oh, yes. The bar shots there are. Or
So
with them were they?
while he's looking for that, the regular shots, he would just effectively just keep making more whenever he needed them. So, like I said, about 20 to 30 just regular shot in there. Just because generally going into combat with less than 20 wasn't a great idea. So,
Gotcha.
but as far as the rod shot, once he figures out how many there are special bullets that are made of the same material that the bars were in the Celeste's manor that used to be the Dark Lords.
It's in chat, roll 20.
Okay. Yeah, 6. So there's 6 of those.
Well, Argenta, when you're done counting, I think you're going to be the one to grab Commander while Lord over here escorts us to a safer place.
I will also go and check on Lilianne's friend.
Yeah. What about I'll go to him too.
Okay. He again, he's unconscious, but seems just like every one else thus far, seems hurt, but still living. So, if you have a potion or something or a spell you can cast on him, it'll.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say I can cast Cure Wounds once
Okay.
we slowly drag him out of the.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can you to
Okay. So yeah, between the two of you, you're able to get him back up, and again, when he sees the body of Commander, he becomes very sullen, and seems to be kind of quiet and contemplative as the Merovingian leads you guys on a path that he remembers and wishes he doesn't.
Okay.
So it takes you guys about an hour-ish with the extra complication of the commander's body. But you are able to get there. You see the door itself is hidden behind a rock to the point that if you weren't looking for it, you would not be able to find it. As you go in, the Merovingian lights some sconces on the side. You see a room with like a decent bed in it. Nothing fancy, but more comfortable than a bedroll. And then you see a door with stains on the handle that goes into another room that the Merovingian seems to avoid actively.
I will use prestidigitation to clean up the handle.
Okay.
And door.
The Merovingian goes over and waves his hand, and there's a fireplace in one of the walls and lights a fire quickly so that the room starts to heat up a bit. Your clothes have slightly dried in the hour that it took, but you're still feeling that kind of mustiness from being in wet clothes for that long.
So, when I attempted to use Revivify on Commander and bring him back, obviously it didn't work. But I saw Celeste. She tried to help me find his soul in Tartarus, but it wasn't there. Apparently El took it, and we can't get it back through arcane means, through the use of that spell. So, Celeste is going to keep Commander's body safe while we go and get Commander's soul back from Ella.
Speaking of which, are there chairs in this area?
Yeah, there's a little table. It looks basically like a small kind of apartment. There's a chair. There's a table with two chairs. There's a bed. There's a little desk, which has a notebook on it that is currently unopened. And then there's a door on the back that leads to another room that thus far no one has gone in.
I will sit down and just start reading the book that I got from Commander.
Okay. Commander, go ahead and describe what he finds in there. If your internet will allow it.
Hold, please.
Weird music coming from this journal.
July, I mean, I can add more music.
We said hold, please. So I have hold music in my head now.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if anywhere would be...
Your comments important.
I feel like Valacovia would be the one kingdom that would be obsessed with jazz. Oh, well.
There goes Commander.
Find out next week.
On.
Yeah.
So I will also tell everyone. It appears Celeste is here in this world, asleep somewhere. Dark Lord doesn't know she was here, or at least didn't until now. So we have to find her as well.
Alright.
Give you one guess. I mean, where else? Well, if he didn't know about her, we can rule out his place, so it's somewhere else. Although that would be a brilliant place to hide, right underneath his nose.
Yeah.
But I don't know that she's hiding. Like I said, she said she was sleeping.
I mean, she could be that weird old lady we keep seeing.
Could be. It's her
I
subconscious
never
trying to help
thought
us.
I was that weird.
Said her name 3 times. That's how it works, I guess.
Well,
Consider-
you've intrigued me, to say the least. And, well, you looked like you could use some answers right now. As always, I am an open book.
Where's Celeste?
It's a very good question. If I knew the answer, I would tell you. When this world was created, souls were not really chosen at random. Most souls that were drawn here were done so on purpose. My thought is she snuck in. She seems like a very smart young woman. I think she could tell something bad was happening. She may have piggybacked on another soul, which would mean when she arrived here, she might not even have known her other life existed. Everyone here has always lived here, as far as they know. Not only have they always lived here, so have their fathers and grandfathers and grandmothers, going back generations.
So, the people that are here, they are real people.
Oh, yes, everyone here is real. Some of them were real on the prime material plane, and some of them are only real here. But everything here is as real as you and I.
Vala's face, just like you watch the color drain out of it.
I mean, when she said that, I just went to our like, well, he's a perfect example of that.
He was one of the ones chosen, specifically for his connection to you. How best to torture your enemies than to take the ones they care about most, turn them into monsters.
I got a question for you. Is finding the rest of the vampire lords even worth our time?
Well, that is a good question. See, the Dark Lords of this realm, they draw their power from the suffering of the people here. You've just seen what that power is at full strength. Well, I say full strength. They were at full strength, but they were not at their most powerful. That is within his castle. So if you feel that you can beat them as you are, as they are currently, by all means, ignore the vampire lords, ignore the prisoners, in various places of this world. Ignore the people that are connected to you, that are here to make you suffer. Go and take him out. That will end all their suffering.
Got it.
If you want to level the playing field, maybe take some of that power away.
And all the neither I can't remember it. I told them, if we are able to get the vampire lords back, then whatever happened to me, I come back full straight and well.
Not to mention, the Dark Lady might be allowed to return someday to this place.
Yeah.
See, what you did there was reckless, to say the least. Not to mention the fact that the Dark Lady has been busy here. She, with the amount of death that happens here, it was a full-time job just keeping track of it all, much less dealing with the souls. And now that she's no longer here, oh, death is a whole new experience for everyone.
Got it. Vala, you need to march into town playing the happiest, most upbeat song ever. That's how we'll counter this place. It's genius.
Remember, there's only 4 chords you really need.
When we are talking about friend, do you know the rotation of my other friend that was brought here is super cool?
I know everything that goes on in this realm. Unfortunately, until they awaken, they're like all the other souls here to me.
So you don't know where the vampire lords are.
They are unique. Do I know exactly where they are? No, but their presence causes effects. You will notice it on the populace around them. It affects people.
Are they all
That
in the
much-
same loop?
No. Keeping them all in one location would have poisoned the town itself. Be completely incapable of not just supporting life, supporting existence. No, they are spread out.
At this point, we can assume 1 to a city then.
Possibly.
Or 2.
Grand total of 13 of them, and there's not that many cities here, so...
Yeah.
I mean, technically, we know how to. I can just send for all of them. If that would even work.
You are certainly welcome to try, but the reason the Dark Lord was made so aware of your presence
Yeah.
was the actions you made thus far. So, if you want to keep attempting that, you are welcome to. I can't say it'll work the same way twice. The magic of this land is intelligent, let's say. Crustalia is not simply dirt. It is in existence in and of itself.
So got lucky once. Don't keep trying.
I would say luck had very little to do with it. You have an ingenuity about you. Keep doing that. Don't get comfortable. Though, from what I've seen of you, it seems like you enjoy discomfort.
This entire time, Argenta's been checked out of the conversation. She's basically figuring out this gun slowly. First, figuring out how to pop the chamber out, unload it, reload it, put it back in, unload it again, put it back in, learn how to aim it. She's just familiarizing herself with the weapon.
Okay.
I'll just kind of like look at her and go, "The body's not even cold yet."
As you
That's
make
the
reference
point.
to the body, all of you have dealt with death in general. One thing you would notice that is very unique about this, it's been over an hour since he died, and the body hasn't entered rigor mortis.
I heard 1 hour. I'm checking short rest. Just kidding.
I'm, I'm. If we're going to take his soul back, I'm doing it with his own weapon.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you know how long he'll keep?
Are you asking the
I'm
woman?
asking the woman.
It's a fantastic question. What's currently happening right now is breaking a few rules. The fact that the Dark Lady's not here makes it slightly easier to break those rules, but the Dark Lord is not going to be pleased about this. He's going to find her, and he's probably going to find her relatively quickly. As soon as she stops doing whatever it is that she's doing, the body will act like bodies do when there's no soul left inhabiting them.
So the question is, do we find Ella first and get the soul back? Do we find Celeste first before the Dark Lord can find her? Or do we try to free up some more vampires to reduce their power before we go after the soul?
I think, as much as I hate to say it, I think the third one, because currently, from what we've been told, the Vampire Lord's freedom ties to Lillian's well-being at this point.
Well, in addition to the King and Queen of Valacovia and the Blood Pack from... I made the country and I can't remember what it's called. I feel bad.
Fenrish.
Fenrish, thank you. The Blood Pack from Fenrish. All the rulers of their various kingdoms are here suffering in their own way. You've just been made aware of the vampires first.
Oh, then we can leave. We can leave the King of Valacovia to suffer. Fuck him.
It's entirely up to you.
I will make him suffer.
That's good. Introduce more suffering. Make him stronger. Make the fight that much more exciting when you do
I will
find
save
him.
him, so that way I can punish him myself.
To
And
let
Leopold
you know
is here.
exactly what is happening here. Every one of you has someone, some of you multiple someones, that is connected to you. That was brought here specifically to make you suffer. Whatever you remember of them, they are not that anymore. Think of the worst thing you could think of them becoming. And that's where you'll find them. All this suffering adds to his power. In addition to that, he has 4 generals that inflict suffering on the populace themselves. The longer the generals exist, the more suffering they cause, increasing his power. And finally, to get revenge against the 3 kingdoms, the leaders of each of the kingdoms have been brought here to suffer on their own. You've discovered the state of the Blood Council. The Blood Pack has their own form of suffering, as does the King and Queen of Valacovia. All of those sufferings increase his power.
This
You
point,
can deal with as many or as few as you feel are necessary. But that is how this existence stays existing.
At this point, I'll look over and gauge if Merovingian can even see if we're talking to somebody or if he just has a look of confusion.
Good question. He seems to be checked out of the conversation. He's just sitting. Or actually, no. He. As you look around, you don't see him.
Excuse me, I have a vampire to find, apparently.
Okay.
And I'll just go in the other rooms, assuming he went that way, and if I don't find him, walk out.
So the other room has a door that has not been opened yet. So if you want to check there, you can. You just have to go through the door. Though it's a small enough room, people would have noticed him going and opening and closing the door.
I would check
the doorway
outside
out
first.
Yeah, and then as soon as you go outside, he's right there. He doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Well, we have a new guest if you'd like to speak to someone who seems to know more about this place than any of us.
I'm fine out here for the time being. Place has some rather vivid memories for me. Prefer not to relive them.
Fair enough.
As you come
You're
back
welcome.
in. Well, I think that about does it. I've given you all the help that I really think is fair.
Leopold is here as well, isn't he?
It's possible. Again, until they wake up, they seem like every other person to me.
Are you awake?
Oh, I'm not. If you find a way to deal with the Dark Lords, that day you'll find out exactly what I am. I'll make that deal with you.
Fair enough. And sorry, she said the Dark Lord or like the generals?
Make me a perception check to see exactly if you heard what she said.
Pitiful. 17.
Something involving Dark and Lord.
Okay.
Or actually, no, you said 17?
17.
17, okay. The exact words she used were the Dark Lords.
Okay. I got nothing else.
Well, I'd say enjoy your time here, but it's not really the point.
Oh, we'll try.
Pick your targets. Be smart about what you do. Hopefully, as you reduce his power, your own will grow, because you will need every last ounce of it. That castle he sits in is more dangerous than the house that just spat you out, but no less alive.
Huzzah.
And
I will
as you
hand
say
it.
that, you look over and you're alone in the room again.
I would hand over the journal to Argenta because I'm assuming I saw a bunch of sketches on how the gun possibly worked.
Commander, I don't think you had a chance to tell us all the stuff in the... Did you?
No.
Okay, so go ahead now.
Going through it, the first few pages are exactly how the gun works, a possible idea for a bigger, badder rifle in the future if I ever got the chance to build it. those pages actually seem really old. Or the charcoal on them seems really old. But as you flip through, uh, there is a a page with no sketch. It just says, "I am uh, the commander. I am Booker Fox." And you flip the page again, and you see a sketch of a family. You see a man and a woman, a older uh, daughter, two boys who look exactly the same, and a younger girl. And then the next page would be us. It would be everyone from the party. And then it would be a couple of other sketches of other uh, ideas or just whatever. And then it just kind of goes into just blank pages.
The picture of his family outside of this place, like back where we're actually from, do they look familiar to me in any way? And should I be worried? In my
No.
past. Okay.
But you do notice that the two boys that look identical both look like the commander. I am correct in that, right, Commander?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So yeah, the boys that look identical both look like Commander.
I'll show that picture to everyone. And then hand the book to Argenta, who I see fiddling with the firearm. I think this might help you a little better.
Thank you. And I'll have it open to Fury's page just to work through it.
At least we know what some of them look like now. We just got to find and take out someone who looks identical to Commander. That's who's even here.
Hmm.
I just hope that that douchebag down in Meisenford is the one we got to take out. If not, I'm taking him out anyway. I think at that point it was just Argenta, Commander, and myself that were there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you remember that one, Argenta. But I think for now we got to rest up
I remember.
and then continue looking for possibly another vampire lord here in Meisenford. And potentially someone who is considered more in power here, because I don't think we're done with this place. Unless that house that walked away is what we're supposed to take out, but I hope not.
Is there anything else you guys want to do before you bed down for the night?
I would probably go through the book that was already here, that was on the other desk or whatever, just to see what Lord Merovingian went through.
Yeah, it's unpleasant to say the least. There are almost medical quality diagrams of internal organs and musculature and the things like that. The notes you get from it seem very kind of scientifically done compared to what you guys saw, where it was more of an entertainment. Let's see what we can do. This is purposeful.
I will walk out with the book to Lord Merovingian. So, you want to destroy this and hopefully get some therapy out of it? And I'll hold up the book.
That sounds like a good idea. If you would be so kind. You see him start to conjure fire in his hand.
And I will just throw it up and at an angle so it's not right up above.
Fires off. Bolt of fire hits it. It bursts into flames. And the embers slowly fall as the book just kind of pops off like a firework. That felt very good. Much better than I thought it would.
Is Alex reacting to that at all?
Alex still seems rather quiet. He when you guys got there, you saw like he made eye contact to kind of let you know, and he went back outside, and he hasn't returned back inside yet.
Oh,
If you check on him, like he's not leaving or anything. He's set up a little camp outside, but he seems reluctant to go back in.
I'll go out to check on him.
He sees you, and he kind of gives a smile for a greeting. Goes back to just kind of poking the fire with his stick.
I mean, I asked how you were doing, but I think we both know the answer to that.
Yeah. It's... I remember everything, and I remember doing it, wanting to do all of it. I wasn't forced. I wasn't coerced. I did all of it.
You know, yeah, maybe he is, you want to do, you don't do, but I think looking at what the play is, looking at who controls it and why, and I would say in a way that you were forced to at least in some way. I mean, when I got here, I ended up in a ground-based area cult.
You joined a cult.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you did have a thing for those blood hunters. I mean, they're not that far off from a cult.
Yeah, baby.
And for the first time since you saw him in the prime material plane, he actually cracks a smile.
I mean, when I got here, I thought I could fight everything that went wrong with the plane. I thought I could kill every monster, kill every tax collector, but then the cult, for lack of better service, convinced me about the plan. And then we had a road. We were not this way, the father didn't say who we are. I mean, do you remember when you're on the right foot, right?
Before being here is fuzzy. It's slowly coming back now. Most of it I don't remember.
And all the, I remember how close we are, how close we all were, how what we kind of, and I remember it made me able to go on some of the stories that what I remember about him and stuff like that.
As you both kind of trade stories and things, and you see his memory slowly coming back of who he was before being here. The night drags on. It gets to the point where both of you are starting to nod off. Did you want to go back in with the party to sleep, or did you want us to stay out here?
Oh, so okay.
So you two talk with each other until late night, and eventually both fall asleep to exhaustion. For the rest of the party, is there anything else you guys want to do before you hit the hay?
I would just stay with Lord Merovingian.
Okay. You would know not all vampires need to sleep every night.
Yeah.
So he
Make sure he
specifically looks like he's not going to be sleeping tonight.
I would just essentially just be to where I can go into my trance that I'm nearby.
Okay. Anything else? Vala or Argentita?
I was gonna say I will make sure Commander's body is like I will press the digitate, clean everything,
Okay.
lay it out respectfully.
Mm-hmm. And
Other than, wait, did you have more to say?
Nope,
no,
that was it.
Other than holstering the gun and positioning it in a way that when my cloak is down, you can't see it.
Okay.
Wouldn't do anything else. Would just kind of lean against the wall and drift off.
Okay. So all of you are able to eventually fall into unconsciousness, get some relatively unpleasant sleep. None of you have a great sleep. You all have nightmares. I'll let you decide exactly what those nightmares entail. But when you all wake up the next morning, you are refreshed but unsettled by what has been playing through your heads all the night. And that is where we're going to end it for tonight. As always, if you missed any of this, you can actually go to my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/trainerjody. And I upload all, we have the entire series there, and I upload new episodes on Sundays. So other than that, like I said, go out, buy Kiri's book. It's amazing. She's a wonderful person. I will put the link in chat one more time. Go to kiricalican.com/changeling. Pick up her book, because it's she's a fantastic author and she deserves to be on a bestsellers list. So, other than that, that's all for me today. I will see you guys next time. All right, bye bye.